Hi everyone, how are we doing? Thanks for clicking on this video. This is a bit of a roundup of announcements really, centered around one main point, which I'll try and keep brief. So the problem with this channel is that I'm running it. No, that's only partly it. What I'm going to be talking about is the fact that this channel, the GeoWizard channel, is a rare case in that there are two main things that I do, right? I do GeoGuessr and geography, online stuff, and then I do adventures. Now there are overlaps between the two, and this is something I've talked about in the past, by the way. This isn't anything too profound, but there are reasons that I'm bringing this up again. Basically, it's quite hard for me to satisfy everyone. Now, there are many of you that love both things. You kind of love whatever I do for some reason, which I really appreciate. There are some of you who love the GeoGuessr, aren't interested in the adventures. And there are many of you, I'd say more of you, that love the adventures, don't care about the GeoGuessr. I don't know what the exact numbers are. I appreciate you all. Now, it's a great problem to have, but it poses a problem for me in that because I've got these two things, to grow my channel, I'm kind of having to grow it with people who love both. They're the ones who are going to stay subscribed, by and large. Or at least, I gain a lot of subscribers for one of the elements who then unsubscribe because I'm feeding them a lot of GeoGuessr, or I'm feeding them adventures. And they're like, this isn't for me. They unsubscribe, or they turn the bell off. Adventure lover sees lots of GeoGuessr, turns the bell off and misses the next adventure. Now, I'm not complaining about this, and nothing's going to change. I guess what I want to say is this is the channel now, and it will be for some time, these two things. So I guess stick with me. Ride out that bit of GeoGuessr and know that there will be an adventure coming soon. Don't turn the bell off. Well, you can do what you want ultimately. I'm not stopping you, but if you do ride out that bit of abstinence of an adventure, for example, you will be rewarded with that adventure. So the problem with this channel is that you won't always get what you want, some of you. And I guess I'm just confirming that that's how it is. And I thank all of you who do stay subscribed or keep the bell on despite this issue. My second message is a big thank you for the reaction to Wales. Fourth time lucky. It's still sinking in what an achievement it was, especially with all of your wonderful reactions. I tried to read as many as I possibly can. You've just been an incredible audience and fan base, for want of a better word, and I'm so grateful for having you all here supporting me this whole time on what has been an epic story, albeit probably went on for longer than it should. But that kind of segues on to another issue which I've mentioned before. It's not really an issue, it's a good problem to have, but the messages that you guys send me on Patreon, on Instagram, on emails, I read them all, okay? And I do read all of the messages that you send me, and I'm just sorry that I can't reply to you. As I say, I'll skim over this because I've done a whole video on this in the past, but just understand that my time, there aren't enough hours in the day, week or year to reply to all your messages, but I take them in and I thank you so much for them. Coming up on this channel are two brilliant adventures, I'm hoping. One of them was filmed with Ben Cook and another ultra runner, and we attempted to run across a country. It's Wales again, I'm sorry. We attempted to run across Wales in a day in the worst weather conditions you can possibly imagine. I mean, a foot of snow, basically, and it got scary. It genuinely got scary. It was one of the scariest moments I've experienced, I think. So I won't say any more about that, other than that it's going to be a cracking video. And the Birmingham No Roads mission, which again has been filmed, It's being edited by what is now hopefully my permanent editor, because that was another problem with this channel, wasn't it? That I was having to do all the work. That hopefully now has changed, which will increase output. But the Birmingham No Roads mission, it is what it says on the tin. We tried to travel across Birmingham, walk across Birmingham, 10 miles, 11 miles I think it was, without walking down a single road, right through the city centre as well. There's chases, there's sewage, there's dead rats, there's insane feats of climbing. I mean, it's got everything. So do look forward to that. That'll be out within a month, I believe, the first episode. In terms of upcoming adventures, I don't think I'm going to film too many over the coming months because I think I deserve a rest. But there will be updates on that going forward. And finally, I've got 2 other messages for you for different causes. The first one is that I strongly urge you to check out Russ's YouTube and Instagram pages. Who's Russ? Russ is Russ Cook. He's the hardest geezer. You may remember him as the mad gingerman who accompanied me in dribbling a football across England in a day. Britain. You thought that was a mean feat. This guy is now running, as many of you may have heard, the length of Africa. From the southernmost tip of South Africa, Cape Horn is it, I believe, might have that wrong, all the way up to Tunisia, the tip of Tunisia in the Mediterranean. Now, it's unfathomable just how far that is. Africa looks smaller on the map than it actually is, a lot smaller. The place is huge. And although it's hard for me to put into words how mental this challenge is when you also factor in the dangers that Russ and his team may encounter on the way, this little clip from his YouTube channel, I think, goes some way into demonstrating just what a feat this is. It's hilarious how mental that... Honestly, it's fucking insane, mate. Anyway, check out his YouTube channel because Stan, the cameraman who edited Dribbling Britain, co-edited with me, he is on the support crew with 2 other guys and they're making some really good videos out there on the move. His Instagram as well, I'll link them both in the description. You've got to check it out, not just because it's so insane, but the charities they are raising money for are great causes, and the more of you that can follow this, I just know you'll get invested and more money will be raised for incredible causes. This thing is going to go down in history, so follow it, be a part of it. And he hasn't asked me to say this. I'm genuinely really passionate about what he's doing. It's going to go down in history as one of the biggest feats of human endurance ever. And finally, an issue that's quite close to my heart, which I've mentioned before, and it's to do with the James Brindley Foundation. James was a good old friend of mine, my best mate in school, and he was stabbed walking home from the pub in what we can only imagine was an unprovoked attack by someone who happened to be carrying a knife. And his parents, Mark and Bev, who are the loveliest couple you could ever meet and who have gone through hell, are trying to get 100,000 signatures. Now, this will only apply to you if you live in the UK. But basically, they need 100,000 signatures for it to be discussed in Parliament to try and get the disease that is knife crime, that is, raging through the youth of today at an alarming rate, to be taught in school, just like sex education is, to be on the curriculum, to teach these kids why they're falling into this trap and why they so desperately shouldn't. So here's the information for you on this. It only takes 2 minutes to sign up to this, to be registered as someone who can sign the petition. So if it's something you feel passionate about to make a difference and ultimately save lives, I know for one, Mark and Bev would be absolutely over the moon, but also you can be proud that you've contributed in making a vital step to our children's education and safety. That is it from me on this little bulletin. Thanks for hearing me out as always. Any questions you have, put them in the comments and like each other's comments so I can read them. And I'll see you in the week for some geography, specifically trying to cover the map of the UK with circles. But beyond that, adventures. Yeah? Keep the bell on. Stay subscribed. Be a part of this wonderful channel. The problem with this channel is that there isn't one.